Scarecrow. Alter ego, Jonathan Crane. Occupation, former professor of psychology, now professional criminal. Known relatives, none. Group affiliation, Injustice Gang of the World. Base of operations, Gotham City. First appearance, World's Finest Comics number 3, fall 1941. Height, 6 foot. Weight, 140 pounds. Eyes, blue. Hair, black. History. Always the bookworm, gangly Jonathan Crane was forever set apart from his peers, who mocked his constant studying and nicknamed him Scarecrow because of his thin, lanky frame. A loner, Crane buried himself deeper in his studies. On the surface, he was unaffected by such widespread rejection. In reality, however, he was deeply affected and vented his anger towards smaller creatures such as birds, taking great delight in frightening them. Over the years, Crane became obsessed with the study of fear. Eventually, he earned a degree in psychology and took a teaching position at Gotham University. His Scarecrow nickname followed him even there, where he was considered an oddball by faculty and students alike. By that time in his life, Crane was further ostracised because he refused any social contact, choosing instead to spend every available moment with and every available cent on his books. Disdainful of his personal appearance, his clothes became raggedy and shabby, making the ardent bibliophile that much more of a campus-wide joke. Crane didn't care. He knew what others said about him behind his back, but he refused to give up his precious books. Crane was no less unconventional in the classroom than outside it. Specialising in the study of phobias, he would, for example, perform outrageous experiments to show the causes and effects of fear. Experiments that over the years, as Crane's obsessions grew, frequently put his students at risk of bodily harm. It was that same bizarre classroom behaviour that caused Crane to be dismissed from his teaching position. Taking a cue from his own nickname, Crane dressed himself in tattered brown clothes, a formless face mask, and became the sinister Scarecrow, master of fear. As the Scarecrow, Crane launched a reign of terror and murder as the ultimate protection racketeer, hiring himself out to unscrupulous businessmen who wanted their competitors intimidated, leaving straws at the scene of his crimes as a calling card. News of the Scarecrow's exploits eventually reached Batman and Robin, who deduced Scarecrow's true identity and lured him into a trap, apprehending him. Years later, once released from prison, the Scarecrow resumed his criminal activities, having refined his method of operation to concentrate on inspiring terror. To that end, he developed a number of chemicals, drugs, and electronic devices to prey upon his foes' minds and elicit from their subconscious their deepest and most horrific fears. And while the Scarecrow has never resorted to cold-blooded murder, he has frequently pushed his terrified victims to the point of suicide. The Scarecrow's arsenal is less limited than might appear at first. Not only does he use his own grotesque costume to cause fear, but he studies his victims' backgrounds and gears his operations to take as much advantage of their phobias as possible. Crane is a quirky man with a perpetual scowl, a man who has very little interest in whatever hedonistic comforts his stolen profits could provide. Instead, Crane prefers to funnel back into his research whatever money he steals. As a result, he is one of the most intelligent foes Batman has ever faced. Powers and weapons. Because of his less than intimidating frame, Crane is a relatively weak physical opponent. He compensates for this weakness by constantly having available the chemicals, drugs and devices that comprise his arsenal of fear. Also, Crane frequently surrounds himself with brawny henchmen who can protect him if he is attacked.